So guys, today I'm going to talk to you again about my client Bob. In a previous video, I talked to you about his priorities and his planning that I drew from the assessment and consultation data that I have for him. Today, we're going to focus on periodization and how to put together a long-term training cycle for Bob. So Bob is general population. He wants to, live long and prosper. He's not looking to peak for a competitive season. At the same time, we do want to make sure we're balancing volume and intensity throughout the year to make sure that he's actually progressing and isn't just spinning his wheels in the gym. So we will still use some principles of periodization even for a general population client. Now, we're going to start up here with accumulation 1, and I want you guys to think about each of these accumulation blocks as around about 4 weeks of time. At the very beginning, where we begin here, we're going to be focusing on fixing from his movement screen the glute bridge. So looking at hinging mechanics, we're going to be looking at that split squat and his squat and making sure we're improving motor control of the squat. And then we're also going to be making sure that we are addressing any core issues, core motor control issues that he might have, because we know that he experienced knee pain and back pain in the past. So we're going to use full body resistance with a focus on motor control and muscle endurance for Bob. Full body resistance means in every training session, we're going to be including some form of squatting, bending, pushing, pulling, core, single leg to make sure that he's getting a really, really balanced workout in. So starting up here, accumulation 1, full body resistance, motor control, and muscle endurance. His reps are going to be on the higher end to reflect that we're working on those characteristics. So let's think about 15, my pen, to 20. There we go. 15 to 20. After that, and he's built some volume there, we'll drop back the volume a little bit and increase intensity slightly while still making sure we're working on motor control and muscle endurance. And we'll get into some 12s to 15s. So he's worked through these first 2 blocks. We're going to take a little transition week, deload a little as needed, and then also make sure that we are rescreening that movement screen to make sure that he's improved and passed the core, bending, and squat issues that he was having in the past. And then after that, we're going to lose the motor control work because we know that he's nailed it. He passed that movement screen, and we're going to get into just focusing on muscle endurance. So still full body resistance, muscle endurance. This week here, we're going to go into some 10s to 12s, or this block I should say, and then after that we'll drop volume again and get into some 8 to 10s. We'll rescreen him at this point, see how his muscle endurance is doing. We'll do some tests like some pull-ups, some dips. We'll take a look at his back squat and deadlift, and then we're going to get into accumulation 5. We will stick here in accumulation 5 with 8 to 10s. And then we're actually going to get into some strength endurance work after that. So this next 4-week block, accumulation 6, we're going to be getting into some more challenging contractions. Let's think about 6 to 8s for this period here. We'll retest him. Accumulation 7, full body resistance still. Now we're going to be incorporating both muscle endurance and strength endurance. So I'm feeling around about 6 to 10s here. And then for his strength endurance, after that, we're going to get into some 4 to 6s. And this here is actually his first intensification block, where we have dropped volume quite significantly, and we are increasing the intensity or the load on the bar to make sure that he is getting quite a challenging dose response from this little block here. We will retest. At this point here, after intensification 1, we might look at, maybe some 6 to 10 rep maxes for him. So we'll pop in some 6 to 10 RMs in this transition block here. Accumulation 8, we're actually now going to go into a body part split. So instead of doing full body resistance every session, he's now at a little bit more of an intermediate stage. And we're going to think about on one day doing squatting and pulling, and then another day we might do a bend and push activity. So in that body part split, accumulation 8, we're now got strength endurance characteristics. We're going to do 6 to 8s for him here for that accumulation block. Intensification number 2, we're dropping volume, increasing intensity, and his rep schemes are going to sit around 4 to 6. At this point here, we're going to do another transition week. We'll test some 5 RMs on his lift. Accumulation 9, we're going to get back into a little bit higher volume than we were doing before. So I'm going to have him do some 5s and 6s on that body part split for strength endurance work. Into intensification 3, again, body part split, strength endurance. We're going to hit some 3s and 4s. And we are going to round out the year by testing his 3 RMs. So basically, guys, what you'll see is over the course of this year, we started really high volume, focusing on motor control, fixing any movement issues he had. Over time, we decreased volume and increased the complexity and intensity of the work that he was doing. Meanwhile, as this resistance training was going on, he was also doing that 1 day a week of aerobic training or sustained training, as we call it at OPEX. And we took him from map 8, or I should say map 10, sorry guys. We're going to make this 8 a 10. So we took him from map 10, spending 8 weeks on each block. Map 10 is referring to max aerobic power of something that he could do for a very sustainable pace for a long period of time. Over the period of the year, every 8 weeks, we reduced the time that he was performing and increased the intensity slightly. So we went from map 10 to 9 to 8 to 7 to 6 down to 5 throughout that course of the year. And this, guys, is how you put together a year-long training plan for a client.